So today I'm going to be going over 3 different techniques for removing invasive bush honeysuckle. And the first one that I'm going to demonstrate is called the cut and bag technique. And you'll need either a saw or a pair of loppers and a preferably thick, heavy-duty black trash bag. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to cut this bush honeysuckle down. You can tell which one it is because it's one of the first plants to leaf out in the early spring, late winter. And they have these opposite kind of teardrop shaped leaves, and it's pretty easy to recognize it if you just look up a picture or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it off at about 3 feet tall, and then we're going to put the black trash bag over the top of it and secure it to the ground a little bit away from the base, and that'll take away the plant's ability to photosynthesize, and it'll slowly die out without you having to do all the hard work of digging it out actually. So let me start here by starting to cut it down.
What do you do with the extra branches?
The extra branches you can either chop up really small and dispose of them in a yard waste container or something like that, or if you have a chipper or something available. Oftentimes we just kind of stack them in the woods. Kind of make like a little brush pile. Rabbits, squirrels and stuff like to live in it, and it won't grow from the base like that anymore. So.
All right.
Doesn't do anybody any harm. Try and remove most of the leaves.
Then you just put the bag over that?
Yep. So you're just going to end up with about a 2 or 3 foot tall little stump here. I'm going to clear out an area around the base so you can kind of see where we're staking the bag at.
Okay.
And would one of you guys unfold the bag for me?
Basically, I'm holding the bag.
And just slide it right over the top. If you don't have yard staples or tent stakes or anything like that, you just take your clippers and cut off one of the old branches, and you can kind of fashion yourself a couple. If you don't have yard staples or tent stakes or anything like that, you just take your clippers and cut off one of the old branches. You can kind of fashion yourself a couple yard stakes to secure the bag down around the base so that it doesn't blow away. Usually about 4, maybe 5 is all you're going to end up needing. So this is all done in a way to try and reduce the soil, like you interfering with the soil and breaking all that up, and to avoid using chemical applications. A lot of people are against using Roundup for various reasons. All staked down, and I would leave it this way for at least a few months, and you can periodically lift the bag up, kind of check it, wiggle it, and you'll see that it's dying out, and hopefully after one season it's gone and you can just easily knock it over or cut it off. So what I'll be demonstrating now is the second technique for removing invasive bush honeysuckle, which is called root docking. So in some situations you don't want to use a bag, or you're in a better open area, and you can use what's called root docking, which is a little bit less disturbing the soil than just like digging it out or getting a machine in here and stuff like that. And all you really need is, we use kind of like a fireman's axe. You can use a hoe. You can use the back end of a pickaxe, anything with just a little bit of a blade. And what we're going to do is we're going to chop the lateral roots off of the bush honeysuckle, and that'll allow us to tip the whole plant over and get out what's called the root crown. That's where all the stems start coming out of the ground, and that's actually where the plant will re-sprout from. So if you can remove that root crown and those main lateral roots, that will get rid of the plant and it won't re-sprout. So it's pretty easy and doesn't require a whole lot of labor. What I like to do is, wearing pants of course, just kind of sit back on the plant like this, and you're going to put pressure on it, and a lot of time you can kind of feel where those main lateral roots are. So there's probably one right here. And all you're gonna do is go about 8 inches to a foot out from the base of the plant. And pop the axe in there. And just kind of work your way around the plant. Go this way. Really requires not a whole lot of effort. You can use the weight of the tool. Will end up doing most of the work for you.
There it is.
See, just like that. If I can shake this out real quick. We cut off those main lateral roots. There's still a lot of soil on it. But this is that main root crown that you're really looking for, and removing this will prevent the plant resprouting. And that's it. That's called the root docking technique. So the third technique that I'll be demonstrating today for getting rid of invasive bush honeysuckle is the cut and strip technique. So similar to the bag technique, we're trying to rob the plant's ability to photosynthesize. So again, we're going to cut it down to using a pair of clippers, a saw, or anything like that, to about 3 feet tall or so. Disposing of all the little branches, you can put them in a little pile, you can throw them in the waste bin, whatever you like. So you're gonna end up kind of with a little 2 to 3 foot tall stump like this, and with a gloved hand, it's kind of important, is you're just gonna kind of, oh, this one keeps breaking.
Pick off all the leaves?
Well, you just, a lot of times you can just run your fingers down it, and you just end up with like a smooth stick.
Oh.
Sometimes it works better than others, and these new growths are like really fragile, so sometimes they'll just come off. But this one will probably be pretty good. You can just pick them all off, or just run your fingers down like that. Works pretty good.
You can just leave all those leaves and stuff just
Yep, the leaves don't do anything, they'll decompose pretty quick. But yeah, you're looking just to get all the leaves off of it. And then, so with no leaves, the plant has no ability to photosynthesize, make energy and food for itself, so it'll slowly die out. But with this one, you have to come back and revisit, usually about every 2 to 3 weeks, and re-strip all the new growth off. Okay. So it's a little bit labor intensive, but no chemicals and no disturbance to the soil.
Okay.